Okay, moving on in our campaign, having so much fun with the developing story behind our squad. It was interesting because when we started Space Infantry, I thought this was going to be about the leader. I really thought he was going to be the focal point maybe of this game, and he is, but not in the way I'm thinking. I don't have a name for him yet, but I think his squad behind his back is going to call him Commander Zero. I got that as a recommendation, and I think that's a great nickname for him. Never to his face, of course, but I think everyone here knows that he's kind of a dud, all right? And I'm thinking maybe this isn't his first squad. I'm thinking once upon a time he might have been a hotshot commander who went out on the front lines, made some bad calls, and lost his unit, and he sort of got broken by that, all right? And so the Home Office sent him back into the boonies and gave him this little green recruit team, thinking he was going to sort of fade into the woodwork. What they didn't expect was that this little team somehow has managed to pull together and come up with a bunch of resounding victories, even without the help of Leader Zero here. But maybe this is changing, okay? Because we just got Commander Zero through enough battles, his squad dragged him through, that his command ability has increased through nothing he's done. He's gone from a 4 to a 3. So maybe he's getting some of his confidence back. Maybe he's going to surprise us here in the second half of this campaign. But right now, the men call him Commander Z, which stands for 0. And these guys have really showed their worth. And ladies. Our CC unit, we've changed him to Crusher Cobain, nicknamed the Crusher. I remember we bumped up his health, and I decided when he became a veteran that what we're going to do is, instead of having him specializing in maybe fire attack, right, I think I'd like to keep him sort of generally able in all types of fighting. So I decided to add his bonus to his hand-to-hand skill. So on either one, he's going to be able to do some damage. So Crusher here, I think he's going to be coming on a lot of missions with us. The true hero of this story so far, of course, is Abraham. And I think he's sort of the guy that this squad is rallying around. He rose up through the ranks. He's managed to become the tactician this team needs because Leader Zero here has not stepped up yet. Now the bad news is this little squad of unknown, well, the Home Office has sort of seen what they're capable of, desperate times, desperate measures, and they're going to be sent to the front lines, okay? So no longer are they going to have to be picking off sort of the dredges now. They're going where the fighting is heavy. Moving up to, alert level 2 in our campaign. So we're going to be hitting larger, tougher groups of enemies. Hopefully our little guys are going to be able to take care of that. Because where they're getting sent next is they're going back down into the Hive. And in particular, we need to do some rescuing because a group of civilians has been abducted. And military intelligence suspects that they will be used as test subjects for developing new bioweapons, xeno experimentations. We must rescue all the civilians before it's too late. So we're going to go into the Hive and we're going to figure out where the civilians are being held captive. Remember, again, we have to create these 3 special nodes. And so the pool we need are going to be a blank, an E, and a T. All right, let's go ahead and pull those out here. Let's see, we need a blank. Got it. An E. Oh, there's our E. And a T. Oh, no, it's not a T. Where's my T? Aha, there it is. Okay, a blank, an E, and a T. Okay, we'll set those aside for now. Okay, every time we hit a base node, this is going to be different. This is going to be tracking. So once again, we know we definitely need to be bringing our explorer with us. Okay, so he's in. He's definitely in the squad for this one. Okay, so now let's find out about these special nodes. Here we go. If we pull the E, we've found the civilians. All right. Ooh, we have an auto string. That's a bummer. So we're automatically going to also hit some baddies, and we're going to be on the B table. Okay, after we resolve the event, we draw a random number. Oh, interesting. So this means our success rate is going to depend on how quickly we get through this hive. Oh my gosh, wow, that's wild. Okay, so remember, we start on turn 30, right? So if we can find the civilians within 10 turns, they're going to be saved on a random poll of 2+. Okay, if we find them within the first 20 turns, poll of 3+, and if it takes us, if it takes us a long time, the odds of us finding the civilians alive decreases. So, oh, if the civilians are alive, we're going to get more experience. Well, that's great. So this is going to be speed. We're going to have to move quickly through this hive. All right, the T tile is a trap. Yuck. And the blank is empty, and we just have an event string. Easy replace with a blank. Now we don't need easy. We don't need easy. We're going to go with the trap. Now you'll notice there is no bonus to movement. Remember that other hive mission? As long as we were quiet, right? Before we pulled an event, we were able to sort of avoid triggering an enemy. So that's not going to be happening here. We're going to need to move fast, not quiet. Fast, not quiet. Okay. So, what sort of team are we going to pull together this time? Well, let's see. Okay, first thing, what's down in this particular hive? We haven't played against these guys yet. Dark roots. So let's try them. Unfortunately, they are particularly nasty because they spit acid. Oh my goodness. So they're going to inflict 2 wounds for every success. And even more interesting, they only spit acid up close, all right? If we can keep them at fire range, one, they suck, right? They're horrible at fire range, and there's no acid attack for the creepers, the adult plants, and the giant tree. Okay, the giant tree will get 2 hits on us, but we're going to avoid the acid. So that probably means we need to build a fire squad. Sorry, Gunner, I think you're going to have to sit this one out. I'm afraid if we try and go hand to hand, which is the way we've been running up to now, these acid attacks are just going to demolish us. Range table, good to know. Okay. Okay, so the first time we meet them, when we're first setting the range table, there's a very good chance we're going to be fighting hand to hand. That's going to be tough. Do not want that. Well, maybe there's some way we can finagle that. Okay, so we're looking for a fire team, and we want to avoid hand-to-hand combat for these dark roots. That's all the intel we have on these guys. So let's pull in our squad here. Let's see what we can do. So these were the guys I ran last time. And I feel like they did pretty well, honestly. We moved well, man. We moved well. We moved fast. We could, because we have to take the Explorer. He's a no-brainer, all right? We could ditch one of these guys and load up on info packs to try and get through some of the node resolution if we wanted to, all right? So I have to take one of these, but I don't have to take both. Probably ditch, I don't know. Well, maybe the demolitionist, because the only one that he triggers is demo. The scientist, I believe there are science and search nodes, so she can get us through. So we could dump Demo Man here if we load up on info packs. So let's think about that. For our squad, remember, we're looking for fire. So definitely Abraham, right? He's great at fire. He helps us pull our range. So Abraham, of course you're in. Of course, you're the man. Okay, Crusher, yeah, definitely, I think so, especially if we might be getting lots of wounds. I think we need Crusher with us, don't you? That seems like a no-brainer. And I'm thinking Sniper to round off our last, because if we can keep it at fire range, we could do really well. Gunner, I love you, but you're gonna have to sit this one out. Scarlet, I'd love to get you a talent, but your strength is hand to hand. And Zero, yeah, you're coming with us, Zero, for whatever. Oh, and your parry ability is actually going to be pretty useless. But maybe he's getting some of his moxie back here. We'll find out. So if I run the 3 of these, now, so remember, Sniper, I didn't have it printed him a card, but he's only 30. He's only 30 in the campaign. 30, 60, 70, 80, 90, 110. Okay, so that would be the mission. Only 3 guys. A little nervous about that. I'm a little nervous, but it worked last time. It worked last time, right? So let's do that. The only thing I might change up is the resources that I bring with me. Because one, I'm not going to need any of those stymo packs because they only work hand to hand, and we're trying to avoid that, right? So let's take a look at the other resources we can bring. Okay, so first up would be the grenades. And unfortunately, they only work hand to hand. Okay, so we probably don't need those. Medikits, yep. We're taking some of those. Intelligence, absolutely. Remember, we can spend those to explore 2 tiles when we enter the hive. So we definitely want those guys. But I was looking down here and I was thinking about smoke grenades. Now, we took one of these with us on an earlier mission and actually never ended up using it. But I was looking at it again, and this is interesting because it's used to modify our range determination, either by +1 or -2. So remember, we really want to be at fire range, right? So with this plus Abraham's tactician ability, I'm thinking we can really dictate how we fight. All right. Here's the only caveat though. All attacks that are made from the fire range by both sides gets a -2 AP. Okay? And we draw a random number. Until we draw 6 or higher, this smoke stays present. Okay? So that it'll help us stay at fire range, but it's going to hamper us just a little bit. But that may not be too bad because remember, these dark root guys, they're really bad at fire range. So if we have these smoke grenades going on, they're going to get a -2 modifier to their fire ability. They're already at 6. It would make it almost impossible for them to hit us as long as these smoke grenades are pumping out smoke, right? It'll make it really hard for them to hit. But I think if I peek at my people under here that I'm taking with me, if we apply a -2 to our fire ability, okay, that would only be a -1 on Abraham, right? So he would have to pull 4 or higher to hit. He would have to pull a 5 or higher to hit, and our sniper could still, I think, get in a couple shots, even with a -2 AP. So it'll hamper us both, but I think it's going to hit these guys harder than us. So let's throw in a couple of smoke grenades. And if I remember right, the last time I played through the hive, I took 3 intelligence, 3 meta packs, and 2 of those stymo packs. So let's switch out those for grenades. Let's switch out those and take 2 smoke grenades and see if we can't maybe hamper a firefight and roll the odds a little bit farther in our favor. Let's try that. Okay, I think that is all of the pre-planning I like to do, and I love the pre-planning. I think it's so much fun to try and figure out what's going to come and what you're going to take in your pack, right? And then you're stuck with it. So we have our team, we have our specialists, we have our resources. Let's generate the infiltration point for our hive. But wait. Thought of one last thing. I always forget these strategic options, and we haven't ever taken one. And it does garner us some extra victory points if we don't take strategic resources. But because we're kind of moving up to the front lines here and we're going to be having that alert level 2, I think I will opt in on a couple of these. And the one I'm most interested in is this +1 intelligence resource. I think for the Hive exploration, having an extra intelligence, I like the sound of that. All right. So instead of starting with 8 resources, we're going to start with our basic 8 plus an extra intelligence. So let's take one of those for sure. That'll be one strategic option. Do we want to take another? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's just take one strategic option this time. See how that works, all right? All right, let's do this Hive. All right, we're all shuffled up here. Let's see if we can find these civilians. We are gonna enter, man, is this the same one we entered on last time? I think it might be. That's hilarious. Okay. So we can either come in and hit demo, or we can come in and hit tracking. And as you can see, this particular node, yeah, I think this is the same one we started with. I did shuffle these, right? I did. Is a nasty one, all right? So again, I think we're gonna try and turn north into sort of all the bad tiles we don't like. So let's say we're gonna enter right here, and this will be our entry tile. Let's generate our 2 infiltration zone tiles next, okay? Can't have that one. Ooh, an auto B. So remember, this is a really nice one because it gives us so many options for placing tiles. Oh, narrow passage. Let's see if I remember that this time. And this one has those toxins, and there's no way around them. Very high event string here, and a B table event string here. Yikes, auto B. We only have to get through 1. I kind of like the sound of that. Okay, now what if we come in, we'll hit an enemy, it'll be nasty right off the bat. There's only 1 node here. Remember, we're trying to move fast. So this tile, we would have to make it through 1, 2, at least 2, possibly even 3 to get to the next Hive quadrant. We need to move fast, so I like this tile because that's 2 nodes and we're already in. So let's go ahead and banish this one. Yeah. Okay, let's banish this one north, and we're allowed to rotate. So we'll stick that one up top. Okay. Now, we took an extra information resource. We're going to burn it right now. We're going to grab 2 more tiles. Wait a minute. This can be one of them, so let me shuffle that one back in, because that would be great if we could pull an end node tile. All right, 2 more for that info pack. Let's see what we're going to do with these. Yes, there it is. There it is. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Now, if we're entering here, oh, I don't know where my little marker went. Darn it, darn it. Okay, I'll just use these for now. Okay, if we're entering here, we come in here, we come in here. So, can we rotate this if we wanted to? I guess we don't need to. We can just stick it right down here, all right? I'm going to do that because then we have to get through science, toxins. Hopefully we'll walk through that, and hopefully the civilians will be sitting right here. That would be great. So let's put that here. Mix these up. And hopefully pick the right one. Stick you down here. Now if we're wrong and this isn't where we want to go, this is not a bad tile at all. Again, it's the toxins, again, it's demolition, only 2 nodes, and I can stick it here on either side. So let's just put it right there like that, okay? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna come in up here. We got a bunch of demo, advance, science, demo, civilians. That's how I'm going to call it anyway. And that's all we can do right now. Okay, let me get set up and let's head down into this hive.